Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the elemental class of Tempest. It is a high flying mobility class. The skill levels, well, the skills are Wind Surge, Updraft, Squall, and Sudden Gust. And then we're going to be stepping into Practice Island, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an idea of what it does, what it has to offer, and maybe some runes that might be effective with this class. This is currently one of my favorite classes. It's just really fun once you get the hang of it. So we'll go over here and grab some of this good loot, and then grab a optimized wind gauntlet. So the auto attack in Tempest are just wind gusts. I believe it's called Wind Shear, and then our sorcery is called Tornado. So as you can see, it's a very quick auto attack. As you move away, you can see it's only doing 4 damage from here. As I get closer, it starts to increase. So the big thing about wind is being near somebody while you're damaging them. So it's a very finicky class. You see right here, 12 versus 4. So a big thing is getting in their face, getting out, and then trying to do what you need to do, get back in. You sort of just pass by somebody, get out. It's an interesting auto attack. It's one of the most unique ones in the game, in my opinion. Then our sorcery is a tornado. This tornado pulls enemies into the middle of it. If somebody is in the air, it actually does more of a pull. So if someone's at the top, you can go ahead and grab your tornado. Let's say if someone's up at this height but over here, you want to grab them in the middle of the tornado, and it'll really mess with them. You can see it pulling me from over here, and it's got a very big pull to it. So those are that's the spell and the sorcery, and now I'm going to be going over the skills. So the first skill is Wind Surge, and this is probably one of the biggest things that make this a very unique class. It's a high mobility flying class, right? So you can auto attack near your character, and it will propulse you away from where you're shearing. As you can see, you can stay levitated in the air almost forever. Actually, I would confidently say basically forever if you really want to. I mean, it comes in handy. It's handy when we talk about the other skills, and also you can just move in ways that people can get annoyed. You can push off of walls, and the thing is, this is directional movement. So if I'm moving away from a wall, I'm gonna want to put my back movement into effect. So if I have a joystick, I'm gonna move backwards. If I'm on WASD, I press my back movement key, and it'll throw you there. Now if you're just pushing forward, it's a little different. It's gonna hold you there. So that is an example of that. Also keep in mind, you can do it from anything. So if you want to get down quickly, a lot of people don't think about this quite yet, but you can get down to the ground real quick. If you need to, maybe you're running away and you want to get down to a doorway quicker. It's a very interesting thing. You can move around very quickly in this class. Alright, so moving on, that is the first skill, Wind Surge. The second one is Updraft. So what this does is it creates an immunity to your tornado. So you will not be pulled by your tornado anymore, and you will be launched into the air if you enter it. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that. You have to touch your tornado basically, and it'll throw you on up. The first initial throw is really big, and then as you come down, you get a second one that's not as big, but it's still pretty cool. That's as simple as that skill gets, Updraft. The third one we're going to look at is Squall, and I'm going to level it twice here for the last two. Squall is huge. These last two are just huge. When you're in the air for longer than a second. So I've been in the air for a second. Your damage is going to increase by 20% with Squall, and you're going to have an incoming damage reduction of 10%. Now, in mathematics, that's a huge percentage. The damage output is big time. So it might look like it's just 2 damage, but if you hit somebody 5 times, you know, that's another 10 damage. So if we get in her face, that's a nice 12. Stay up for at least a second, right? Now we're doing as much damage as we were doing on the ground, but we're in the sky. So we're a little further away, and we have the same amount of damage output, if not more. And you can actually just dance on someone. See how my wind shear is holding me up? You can literally dance on an individual like this. It's very powerful, very high level skill cap. It is one of the more difficult classes to play. An inexperienced player will come into the game saying wind is very weak. This is really inaccurate, because this class, it can put out a ridiculous amount of damage when you're nearby somebody. If you maintain your flight for longer than a second, then you're gonna really be able to really hammer into them. And I do have Fervor on, which is a talent that increases your cast speed by 15%. You can get it up to I believe it's either 30 or 35% increase. It's just a ridiculous amount of increase for your auto attack, which is huge for this class. So I do recommend you trying Fervor in the talents. And then the last one, Sudden Gust. So it increases your sorcery cooldown speed by 100% if you're in the air for longer than a second. So it's a 15-second cooldown, right? You know, this is something I've been looking at. I do question how it works exactly. Cooldown speed, so it must be going faster, right? So you see how slow my ticker's going? It's going extremely slow. This is a full 15 seconds. Now, if I'm in the air for at least 1 second, it's gonna knock that baby down to a 7.5 second cooldown. I think you can see right there. You see a wind, like animation swirl around me right there. What is that? That's when you're in the air for a second. So as soon as you see that, your squall and your sudden gust are now taken into effect. I'll show you again. Right when I jump, 1 second later, you're gonna see a wind swirl around me. There. So there that is. It's an animation to show you when your skills activate. Once again, we'll look at the tornado cooldown in the air. Look at it. It is rapidly moving through that cooldown. Honestly, they could change that timer, but they just haven't. They might do it in later development, I would assume. This is a very fun class, guys. One of my favorite, easily. It's just such a blast. You can be really annoying. People think it's worthless, but a very good player can really do some damage with it. So those are the skills that the Tempest class has to offer. Now, runes. You know, once again, runes at this point are coming down to preferences. Shadow Step is the latest rune that just got re-released. It was part of the beta and alpha, but they just put it back out. Shadow Step's interesting. It's a dash that makes you invisible. Currently, one of the runes I've been running preferably in solos is just invisibility. Invisibility is big late game. Also, if you need to get out to heal, you can just go invisible, man. You know, like it's so much harder to see an invisible person. So you know, at the top of your tornado, you go invisible. Oh, yo, where'd this guy go? Well, you know, like he just hit a tornado, bro. I don't even know how you could track that too well, but some people have a keen eye for invisibility. Other people can't see it at all. Most people would think that you would go for Featherfall, but Featherfall is definitely a rune I would avoid, because when you get in lobbies with more experienced players, you will get destroyed. in the air just like this. There's no reason to even use it, honestly. Especially with this, I would choose a more versatile rune, because this class already allows you to be in the air like basically as much as you want. I mean, you got all day up here, baby. So those are some rune ideas for you, and just my own preferences. Get in practice, see what you like out of the runes, or get into some lobbies and test them. But those are my preferences. So once again, guys, this is the Tempest class tutorial. I do appreciate you stopping by. Drop a like if this was informational. Drop a sub if you want to see more informational tutorials that will be coming out. I will be doing more advanced ones, more combos. I'll be putting out the rest of the elemental classes. And comment below why you might like the Tempest. It's one of my favorite. It's just a blast. So thank you for stopping by, guys. This is Daddy's Eve. Have a great day.